Hi, favored ones! Hello, welcome to this special episode. Ano siya? This is part of Soul Prosperity. Remember, I talked about it last week that I'm launching this one. It's been a while since I've really talked about prosperity because for the past year, I've been talking about self-awareness, mindfulness, and the different, wisdom from that we could gain from life. The discernments that I've gone through, the contemplations that I've had, all of those I've been sharing inside the group. And for today, this is once again the relaunching of Soul Prosperity because if you remember the first time I launched it, it was a combination of energy healing so that you could remove blockages, so that you could manifest money. I believe it's still available in my YouTube channel. Those the 21 sessions of Soul Prosperity, where we remove limiting beliefs, where we remove emotions and energies that blocks any of your manifestations when it comes to money. And right now, I'm here to talk about Soul Prosperity again. It's launching of Soul Prosperity once again, but then more grounded. It's really more grounded. I suppose it's because of my experience in going back to PhD, and it made me realize that a lot of people, they have the knowledge, they have the education when it comes to finance, but then it's so hard to actually act on what they know because of emotions, because of their thoughts, and it brings me to the point that okay, let's go back to the basics, to the essentials of what finance is all about, what it should be, in your life, and find out what are the blockages. Why are you not manifesting the wealth that you deserve to have? Because at the end of the day, you all know that what I believe in is that our God, or your God, no matter which God you pray to, you have faith towards to, our God wants us to be happy in this life, and it's only a given that we should be living a life of prosperity. So, for this series that I'm doing, actually it's a 7-part series, and for today, this is the first part. It's about setting of goals, which would open up the topic more. So let's start. I prepared some slides here. Oh no, let's make it a bit bigger. Okay, so setting of goals. Why is it very, very important? Okay, this is just ilan slides lang pa na prepare ko. I think it's only less than 10. But then we'll just go straight to the point and I'll add more insights. Okay, I know you're surprised to be seeing what it is that I'm doing because all of you are part of my online community, and of course you already know what my life is all about. But I'm doing this live stream in my YouTube channel and in my Facebook page as well, which is public. So I know that not everyone is still aware of what it is that I actually do. So I am Michelle, and I am a business and finance teacher. I'm also doing a lot of consultations, intuitive consultations about love, about life, about success, and I also teach people how to be mindful, how to be very self-aware, because all starts inside, right? It all starts inside of you. And as you become more aware of yourself, then that's when awareness of your environment happens. I'm also a spiritual hypnotherapist and a Reiki master, which I combine in my guided meditations. Of course, for those who are in my community, the favored ones, you all know that I go live every Wednesday evening to do the guided meditations. And it's really a combination of what I know in hypnotherapy and Reiki healing. And of course, my faith, my faith in God. And my purpose is really to help people, be more clear with who they are, what they want, what they are capable of, to find that inner peace inside of them so that they could transform their lives and live a prosperous life. And when we talk about prosperity, it's really, really so broad. A lot. A lot would think that prosperity is just about money, but it's not. Prosperity is also about health. It's also about relationships. It's also about, of course, money. So money is just one component of prosperity. And of course, I always encourage you guys to live your purpose. That this life really has meaning, and you have to find out what it is that you are meant to do in this life. Okay? Alright, so what are we going to talk about today? So it's about the SMART goals. What is a SMART goal? What are the different financial needs and decisions that you have to do? And Household Prosperity, the series, could help you in your journey of, having a more prosperous life. At the end of the day, when we say that we are living a life of purpose, there is a specific role, there is a specific responsibility that we need to carry out. And at the end of the day, it's really about serving others. How can we be of service to others? And how can we be of service if we ourselves are not prosperous yet? If we ourselves are not successful yet? So let's start at the beginning. What it is that you need to do to live your purpose. And the first is actually to create your goals. What is it that you want to do? Why are goals important? Because your goals will actually align what it is that you need and what it is that you need to decide on. What you need to decide on are your action plans, your strategies in life, what it is that you'd want to do. And what you are about to do is actually connected to what it is that you need in life. So creating goals, I'm not just talking about the general goals, but it aligns you to your financial goal as well. And of course, it improves your quality of life because there is all of a sudden a direction. You know what to do. And if something happens out of the blue, then at least there is a plan. And when things don't go your way, you still have control. You still have control. Okay? The third thing is it helps you utilize money wisely. Money should be spent wisely. And it's normal to be spending money. It's just that you need to spend it in a very wise way. Um, and of course, at the other side of spending money is earning money. How can you earn money? So, in utilizing money, it's not just about spending it, it's also earning it, allowing the money to flow within you, to flow through you. You are actually a channel of blessing. Remember what I've said earlier, that we're meant to serve, we're meant to do good in this life. And how are we able to do good if we are not ourselves prosperous? So we need to allow money to enter our being, and we release money to others in the form of service, in the form of doing good deeds. So that's how we utilize money wisely. It's the knowledge that yes, we are spending, but at the same time, we are also earning. We're actually earning more. So we could serve more and do our purpose. And of course, the last one is creation of wealth. It's not just creation of wealth for myself or for ourselves, but also helping others create wealth by supporting them, empowering them, giving them the tools that they would need so that they could also create wealth. And it all starts with goals. All right, so SMART goals. Okay. I don't know if my students are here because I invited them to watch. I gave them extra work. It's to do a financial plan. And of course, with any financial plan, we have to start with the life goals, diba? Kung ano yung goals natin sa buhay. Be it long-term, be it short-term, be it medium-term. But I realized not all of them actually know how to create goals. There's just this one vague idea that they want to achieve, but then they don't actually know specifically, or they cannot even envision it vividly. So that's not a goal if there's no vivid envisioning of what it is that you'd want to do. So I'm using this framework, the SMART framework, wherein it would give you the elements of what a goal should be. Okay, so a goal should be specific. So that's what S stands for. It has to be very specific. You have to exactly know, and you have to be very, very clear with what it is that you'd want to do. If you'd want to, let's say you'd want to be rich. Everyone wants to be rich. But you have to be specific about it. How rich is rich for you? How much money in the bank account should you have for you to feel that you are rich? If you cannot even define that, then you don't actually want to be rich. It's just a dream to be rich because it's not specific enough. It's not clear enough. The second one is measurable. Of course, everything has to be measured. Why is it important to measure? Why is it important to actually know where you are in terms of a particular goal? Because a goal is result oriented. Okay, there must be an output. And how can you know that a goal is achieved if you are not able to measure your goal? So, part of being specific is having specific measurement. Siguro ang example ko na lang dito would be, okay, I want to, alright, let's go back to the first example. I want to be rich. So, how rich is rich? Well, based on my measure, rich would be 100 million. Of course, I would have that in my mind. Other people would just have 10 million in their heads. Others would have maybe a billion. It really depends because we're all unique beings and we all have different experiences and backgrounds. But for me, having that 100 million in my bank account is comfortable enough. And it really shows what it is, the character, the personality of that person when they actually specify the measurement that they'd want. So when I say I'd want to be rich, I'd want to have a total portfolio of 100 million. Then that's my measure. So I will know that I'm achieving if I am actually moving up that amount. Now, is it achievable? Because you have to consider if it's achievable. I believe it is. It is achievable. Why? Because I have family members who have achieved it. They may not have achieved it in a short time span. In fact, they have achieved it in several decades. But they have achieved it. So that gives me the confidence that yes, it is achievable, but it is definitely a long-term goal. Okay? So third is it has to be result-oriented. Your goal has to be result-oriented. Okay? So when we say result-oriented, there must be an output. It wouldn't be a goal if at the end of doing all your action, all your decisions, wala lang naman pala mangyayari. Okay? If that's the case, then you haven't really hit your goal yet. Okay? And the fourth is time-bound because it should have a timeline. In my goal of wanting to be rich, there is a timeline. I'm now 40 years old, so my timeline would be 20 years. Kaya ba ng 20 years? diba? So there is that, it has to be very, very clear. It has to be very specific. You can measure it. You know that it's achievable. You have that confidence that it is achievable, and that you're seeing outputs, you're seeing the results, positive results, of course, and you are hitting the timeline. And sometimes, the timelines may not be hit. Sometimes it's earlier, sometimes it gets delayed, but it gives you an indication of your performance. It gives an indication of your position in terms of this goal. Now, I'm not saying that a goal is set in stone, especially if you have long term goals, okay? It's not. There are times when goals are changed because we are changing. So, my goal when I was in my 20s is definitely different from my goals when I was in my 30s. And now that I'm in my 40s, parang I'm stepping into it pa lang, okay? Wala pa naman ako 40 plus, but I'm in 40, okay? I'm 40 right now. So, definitely my goals have changed. And it's always evolving. As a person evolves, your life goals will also evolve. And of course, when you evolve, your goals has to change as well to suit your needs, to suit what it is that you'd want to do, to suit how you know yourself. So let's go to the financial plan. Of course, you have your goal, and the financial plan is actually what helps us to match our financial needs, the decisions that we need to do, and the strategies that we need to come up with. So what is a financial plan? A financial plan would show you your goals. It would show you what it is that you want to achieve, what it is that you need to do, what are your levels of priorities, and what decisions do you need to make to do. So the decisions that you make to do, and what's your action plans. Okay? So strategies is another term for action plan. Okay. Okay, let's go to financial decisions. Right here in the middle, you could see that there are several financial decisions that you need to do in your lifetime. Of course, it will always depend on your priorities. But of course, the first one would be the basic asset decisions. What are basic assets? Okay, I know that I'm going into some finance jargons here, but bear with me. I'll keep it as simple as I can. What are the different decisions that you need to do when it comes to finance? The thing is, your goals always has an equivalent cost. It always has an equivalent cost. You want a house? There is a particular cost for that. You want a good education for your children? There is a cost as well. You'd want a retirement plan so that you could live a more comfortable life, then there is also a cost involved in that. So all of your goals actually have different financial decisions integrated into it. And you may be using different financial decisions, okay? So what are the different financial decisions? The first one is the basic asset decisions. When we say basic assets, this is your cash level. These are your personal properties. It could also be real properties. So these are your assets. How do you manage your assets? How do you manage your cash? How do you manage, if for those who are familiar with the financial statements, this is actually part of your balance sheet, the asset side, the asset categories. What are the different basic assets that you'd have, that you'd want to have, that you'd want to grow, so that it could support the goals that you'd want to happen in life, you'd want to achieve in life. So the basic assets are your cash levels. So normally cash would be for your emergency funds. If something happens, something comes up, you'd want to make sure that you have enough emergency. If you are laid off from work, that is a sudden thing, then you'd want to make sure that you'd have enough money to sustain you until you find another job. Okay, so those are some of the basic asset decisions that you have to encounter. The credit decisions is related to debt. Okay, so credit is another term for debt or loans, borrowings. There are times, yes, we may be temporarily having um, issues in terms of cash, and we would need to borrow. So sometimes you need to make a decision based on where to get your debt, where to borrow money. Are you going to the bank, or are you going to borrow from family members? And of course, part of that decision making is to check the rates. How much are you actually paying for that particular borrowing? Okay. Another decision that you have to do is insurance decisions. So insurance, okay, another word for it is risk management. How do you manage the risk that is part of life? What are the risks? Diba? What are the things? What are the things that we actually insure? Um, of course, we insure our properties. We insure um, cars, houses, our businesses. Okay, that's non-life insurance. And for the life, it's we insure our own lives to ensure that our loved ones, when we pass away, they have sufficient money. Um, so that's okay. My puppy is nanggugulo siya dito. All right. Oops. Wait lang, Thunder. Okay, he just woke up. So, ayan, nanggugulo. Okay, so where are we? Life insurance. Okay, so life insurance, okay, sige. Naglalaro siya. Okay, life insurance is about risk mitigation. It's trying to minimize your risk. And when we say risk, it's when we talk about life insurance, okay, the decisions that you need to make in regarding to insurance, um, how comfortable or how prepared are your loved ones in case you pass away? Because that's a sure thing. We all leave this world um, when the time comes, and part of it is ensuring that our loved ones are well taken care of. So that's the most simplest, the most simplest definition that I could give when it comes to insurance. Okay, the fourth decision is investment. How do you create more wealth? What kind of investments should you be doing so that you could um, live a better life, a better quality of life? When we say investments, investments could be in the form of businesses. You could invest in businesses. You could invest in um, other financial products that could help you grow your money. So when we say investment, it actually you're using your money, you're using your asset to create more asset or to create more money. So using money to create more money, that is an investment. So meron ng example yung naiisip ko. Is a house an investment? Well, if you're living in that house, no, it's not an investment. But if you are leasing it out, if it's being rented, then it is an investment because it's helping you earn more money. Okay? Retirement decisions, of course. We'd want to, well, in my case kasi parang wala sa vocabulary ko ang retirement. I just want to live a very comfortable life even when I am gracefully aging. Okay, I don't believe in getting old. But then, there is a season for everything, and as we age, we can age gracefully, and we can age in a very comfortable way. It doesn't have to be difficult. Um, so with retirement decisions, it's helping you plan for that future of a comfortable life when you're already aging gracefully. Okay, and estate decisions, these are decisions that you'd want to do in terms of leaving a legacy for your family. So, how do you want to structure your wealth in such a way that it would still be beneficial to your family or to your grandkids in the generations to come. So that's all about estate planning. It's creating a structure in terms of okay. Wait lang guys. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry about that. I gave him a piece of paper so that he could crunch his way. Alright, so we've just ended with estate decisions. So, are you going to create, part of it is creating trust funds, right? If you want to create trust funds for, um, for your assets so that it could still be useful for generations to come. So, pwede rin yun, okay? So, all of your goals, all of your decisions, all of your financial decisions, of course, has a result. It has to meet your needs. And the thing is, yun nga yung sad eh, kasi when it comes to, let's say, insurance decisions, I know several people who have so many insurance products that they have bought. It's actually a good thing to have an insurance. But then too much insurance can be also over insuring. And sayang naman, 'di ba, if it's not efficiently managed. Alright, so I'm back. Okay, konti na lang to. Ginugulo na ako ni Thunder. My gosh, what a thunderbolt. I had him 2 weeks ago. Um, yeah, we've already adjusted to each other. Alright, so all of your plans, your decisions, it has to have a result, okay? And it has to achieve what it is that you'd want to be in life, what it is that you'd want to have in life, and what it is that you want to do, that you can do in life. Alright, so actually this ends um, the talk about setting of goals. Now, I'm just introducing what the series of webinar is going to be. So today, it's about setting of goals, and then every Saturday at 2 p.m., I'm opening this up to those who would like to participate. So the next topic would be the different tools of finance. So this is a simplified way to understand the different financial statements. Okay, how you could how it is important to understand the um, different valuation, or at least knowing the story behind the numbers. Okay, because for some people when they look at numbers, it's all nakakalito, it's all nakakahilo, but then numbers are also indicative of it shows a story, it tells you a story. So we'll be tackling tools of finance at the second session. The third session is the value of money. For my students who are watching this live or on the replay, of course, value of money. We'll be also talking about time value of money, the simplified version, so that you'd know or you understand that your money right now is definitely not of the same value as as your money in a future time. Okay. Four is the different types of assets. What are the different types of assets? So, dyan yung mga investment products, and that will be fun. Different asset categories that you'd want to know that's available here in the Philippine financial markets. And the fifth one is the economics of finance, because oops, thunder. Gulo. Okay. Alright. Economics of finance. Why is it very important? Because the economy affects your finances. It has an effect on what you should be deciding on. Okay, it has an effect on your goals as well. So how does some economic factors affect your finances? And the sixth one is the portfolio of wealth. Okay, he wants to come up sa lap ko. Baliw talaga tong asong to. Okay, so the sixth one is the portfolio of wealth. This is a very simplified version of how you value your all the different assets that you have, all wealth that you have, so that you would know how is it performing, if okay ba siya or not, 'di ba? So that's the sixth one. And the seventh is psychology of money. So psychology of money, of course, it's very important, at least for me, coming from a counselor point of view. I know a lot of people who sorry, wait lang. Maingay pa siya ngayon. I don't think. Oh my God, it's like so taas ng boses. Okay. Gusto makipaglaro. Alright, so I'm back. Binigyan ko ulit ng something that he could tatawa ko. Alright, so the seventh or the last one is about the psychology of money. Why is it very important? Because I know a lot of people who have the knowledge, who have the wisdom, who have who actually have the resources to do things, but then because of yun nga, their attitude or the beliefs that they have or the emotions that they have, it hinders them from manifesting the money that they deserve. So the psychology of money is something that I added so that what you learn in this webinar series would actually be helpful. Okay, so that's it. Of course, I still have to create the event invite and everything else, but the natatawa ako dito. Okay, but the cost of alright, so the cost of each individual webinar is 1,000, but if you're going to get the entire thing, it's 5,000. Plus, there would be a support group together with this one. Okay, for those who are going to avail of the entire series. So, we'll be having our support group so that it could help you guys in your financial journey and at the same time, create the life that you'd want for yourself. Okay, I'd also like to plug in the self-love journal that we recently launched. So it's a collaboration with the relationship coach Eileen Santos. Ayun. So we have worked together. We have worked together to create this journal prompts, or actually ang tawagan namin parang motivation book of some sort. There are also worksheets that's integrated inside. So if you'd want to join our free coaching session, it's every wow. He's very right now. Okay, so if you want to join the free coaching session, it's every first Monday of the month. You just have to go to Self-Love Journal page, our Facebook page. Alright, so are there any questions so far? Sige, iakyat ko na siya dito ha. Total naman magiging parang discussion. Lian, are you there? Ayun. Teka, i-add kita sa stream ha.
Sure.
Ayan. Hi Lian, how are you?
Hi everyone. All good.
Sorry, napaka-destructive ni Thunder. Grabe. Ngayon lang siya nagganyan. As in, when I do my guided meditations, he's just asleep usually. But right now, he's like,
He wanted to join also the webinar. That's why.
Oo nga
He wanted to learn more about money. He's very interested, you know. He's talking now in the dog language.
Nako. Iakyat ko na nga. Kulit eh. Halika. Ayun, may question ka? Ito siya, oh. Gusto niya makihalubilo. Hello, say hello. Ayan. Okay. Kaya lang nanggugulo siya. Ayun. May question ka ba, Lian, on the on what I have discussed so far? I know it's very easy naman.
Yes, oo. I have lang, while you are discussing, so I have a few lang. Since we are talking about goals, setting goals, no, and it is very important, you mentioned it naman earlier. So, how many, for example, yung mga students natin, since you've mentioned earlier na may mga student tayo, and of course, with the member of the group that we have, no? So, is there any limit ba na goals na kailangan natin na i-set to ourselves? Like, may advantage ba if we have a lot of goals na ma-overwhelm ba tayo if we have many goals? So, what do you think? Ano kaya yung
well, based on experience ha, parang ako, I'd rather set mga 3 major goals and then those are long-term goals. Under that, syempre, may mga short-term goals. So, dadami pa, di ba? So, but what's important is that you need to know how to structure your goals. So, yung
Okay.
one particular goal or two goals na yan, saan siya naka-align? Kasi there are major goals, di ba? So,
Mm-mm.
the long-term goals, meron kang mga short-term goals that's aligned to your long-term goals.
Yes, correct.
And that's okay yung ganon. You just have to learn how to chunk it together. Kasi if
Mm.
all of it are you're going to treat it as one goal lang, parang ang gulo, ang dami, 'di ba? Pero if alam
Mhm.
mo na, okay, for this particular short-term goal, this is aligned to long-term goal number one. And then for
Alright.
this another short-term goal, this is aligned to long-term goal number three. Kunwari ganyan. So,
Mhm,
you
mhm,
need to know where to chunk it all together para hindi
mhm,
kayo parang sobrang dami. And
mhm.
based on your long-term goals, you will still be able to know what it is that you're prioritizing.
Okay. Since you've mentioned nga na prioritizing, no, since you've mentioned about the acronym of SMART, and then one of them is time-bound, do you have
Oo.
any suggestion na possible na ma-apply din ng ating audience, no, na ah, possible natin na ma-monitor? Kasi since time-bound siya, no, meron bang ganun na suggestion ka na maibibigay? Like you've said, no, we have long-term goal and then example, 5 years. So, paano natin na may inspire yung sarili natin na dapat within that time na frame na yun, ma-achieve natin
Mm.
yung goal na yun. Mhm.
Actually, very applicable sa atin, no? Ano siya, hindi, kasi 'di ba, the long-term goals are really long-term. Minsan talagang 20 years in the
Mm-mm.
making, 30 years in the making. That's why
Yes.
it's also important for you to structure it in such a way na alam mo kung anong short-term goal ang naka-align dun sa long-term. Kasi while you are
Mhm.
achieving the short-term goal, that's already a step towards your long-term. And that will keep you motivated as long as you are
Mm-mm.
aware. That's why awareness is also
Awareness
a
is very
very important
important, no?
part. Oo. Yung, saka ano rin it also builds confidence and competence, di ba?
Yes,
As you
correct.
are seeing the results of a particular short-term goal, whether it's just in days
Mhm.
or months, di ba? When you
Mhm,
achieve it,
mhm.
you know that you are one step closer to your long-term goal. Kaya important na
Mhm.
structure mo siya. So, meron short term, may medium term, may long term, and then, ano yung major goals, life goals na nakaikot around that.
Mhm. Okay. Ako
Yun.
naman, ang next question ko naman, Michelle, is me as a mom, no,
Mm-mm.
what do you think is the right time for us to teach our kids, no, to set a goal? May right time ba siya or kasi for me, para at least ma-apply ko siya sa daughter ko
Oo.
na
Yeah.
yes.
Mm-mm.
Do you think may specific
Actually,
time ba for
ano,
that?
yes, actually for the favored ones, you all know Lian. She's really very active in our community, and
Correct.
what I love about Lian is that she's really a teacher inside her heart. So, kaya rin ako nakaka-relate sa kanya eh. But, but what I love about her is that whatever it is that she's learning, she's also trying to really teach it to her kid.
Yes,
Yung,
that's our one, being a mom is our first job.
actually, I don't see anything wrong. It's just that, syempre, kung create ng goals para sa bata, it has to be at their level. Kasi what we know of goal setting is already the more mature one, yung talagang pang-adults, di ba? For someone who has that maturity and rational thinking. Although, of course, medyo irrational naman ang mind. But then, when we teach goal setting to our kids, it has to be the simplified version, something that they can appreciate. Kasi kung sobrang dami naman goals and it takes the fun away. Alam mo yun? And they're still kids. Whatever it is that we'd want to teach, it has to be enjoyable for them as well. And they need to see that they are actually achieving something because of what you've taught. I'm sure alam mo rin yan kasi nasa
Yes, yes.
SPED ka eh.
Yes, for the others. Okay. Ayun. So, my next question, I think parang last na siguro to, no?
Mm-mm.
You've mentioned kasi a lot of decisions here, the basic asset decision, credit, insurance, investment, no? For us, ano kaya yung best decision dito sa financial decisions na to?
I would say the basic assets.
Mhm.
Tapos next nun is insurance na.
Okay. Basic
Yun.
and
And
insurance.
saka,
Mhm.
oo, basic asset.
Mhm.
Kasi syempre yung cash mo, di ba? The emergency fund, you
Mhm.
need to set that up.
Yeah.
And then,
Mhm.
how do you lessen the risk, di ba?
Mhm.
Get a health card. That's part of insurance, di ba? Or,
Mhm. Correct.
yung, ano pa ba yung mga other important na insurance products that you'd want to
Mhm.
have. So, it really depends on your priorities pa rin eh, di ba?
Mhm. Mhm.
You could insure your house, di ba? Tapos you could also insure your car kung madalas kang
Oh,
magkaroon ng accidents.
accident.
Um, oo, or ano
Mhm.
pa ba? So, it's always a guide, alright? Ako I always put this disclaimer na these are just guidelines. At the end of the
Mhm.
day, only you will know what it is your exact situation is. And what I can say is that you just need to really understand what are the different services and products that are available that could help you in your situation. Kasi
Mhm.
kung ako personal value ko, ayoko talagang mangutang, 'di ba? Pero
Yes.
if it really comes to that point that you need to borrow, then you have to do it, 'di ba? You have to bite the bullet and make sure na lang na yung interest payments mo hindi ganun kataas. So, kailangan mag-canvas pa rin sa market, 'di ba? Ano
Yes.
bang debt product yung
Mhm.
pinakamura, 'di ba? Yung mga ganon. So, or kahit sa pawn shop, if that's your capability, pupunta ka ng pawn shop, ano yun, yung parang mag-iiwan ka ng jewelry or something and then
Mhm.
borrow
Mhm.
from it. If
Mhm.
that's your that's part of your resource eh. So, and kung kailangan talaga, 'di ba? If it's really really needed, then so be it. Because no one can ever say what is right or wrong for you. We all have our own unique situations in life. And ang important lang, as I've said, alamin lang natin ano yung mga produkto saka services na available for us that's cost efficient and that's really benefiting our lives. So, kasi coming from my training, laging sinasabi na, okay, save ka muna for emergency. Next is insurance products kasi you have to cover the risk. After the insurance, saka ka mag-investing. But then, there
Mhm.
are also other people naman na I would understand na mauuna yung investing bago yung insurance. Kasi gusto
Mhm.
nila palakihin agad yung pera nila, 'di ba? So
Mhm.
that's also a very viable reason and it's justified, 'di ba? So ang kaya lang naman sinasabi ng ibang practitioners na kailangan maunang insurance is because the objective of an insurance is for the benefit of your loved ones when you pass away. So
Mhm.
kung bigla kang nakulangan, 'di ba? Saan ka kukuha? Kung may insurance ka, wala kang savings, kukuha ka sa insurance. So,
Mhm.
ang nangyari, edi liliit yung benefit ng naiwanan mo, 'di ba? If you are not able to top up. So,
Mhm.
kaya it defeats the purpose of what an insurance kung gagalawin mo in this lifetime. So, that's why
Mhm.
they're saying na savings una bago yung, 'di ba? It's always justified. And
Mhm.
in making financial decisions, we just need to look for the basis. We need to look for the justification for a particular decision and action plan. So, yun, no one can really say what's right or wrong. Only you
Correct.
can make the correct decision.
Mhm.
Ganun naman eh. Hindi lang yan, di ba? Hindi lang naman yan sa
Yes,
finance eh. Sa
correct.
life
Even
din
in
yan
the
eh.
personal, no, personal decision
Mm-mm.
also, you need to consider, eh. Parang you need to test the water also and take into consider other variables, no, before you
Mm-mm.
go into your decision. So, yun.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Oo. Actually, ano nga eh, it's definitely a very fun topic. Well, kasi coming from my experience na, okay, nakikita ko na yung connections sa
Mhm.
sa mga different aspects of life, 'di ba?
Mhm.
How
Correct.
finance is that important so that we could enjoy our relationships with other people, with our families, how we could take care of our own health, 'di ba? So
Yes.
a lot of things. Even this one, I'm, di ba, alam mo naman, di ba, extra ko lang naman to, yung ginagawa ko na counseling, yung mga guided meditations, it's all
Meditation.
service. Although, yes, there are people who are sponsoring, who are giving donations, but then, at the end of the day, if I am not okay financially, then I wouldn't be able to actually do all these things. I wouldn't be able to serve others as well. So, it's really really tied to life itself. Money is a tool. Money is a tool. It's an instrument so that you could actually do a lot of good in life. But of course, sad to say, a lot of people also misuse money, 'di ba?
Yes.
So, but then it's not the money's fault. 'Di ba? Nagamit
Correct.
lang naman siya, siya yung sinisisi.
Yes. Correct.
Natawa ako. Natawa ako. I'm enjoying this conversation, Lian. It's been a while since we've talked.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Oo. Actually,
Correct.
for the favored ones, I'm sure I've mentioned it before. Parang Lian is like my accountability partner.
Yes,
So
partner. Mhm.
we've been talking to each other a lot of times, and we keep each other updated. It's just that
Yes.
for, I don't know, recently, I think the past month when everything is just so hectic, hindi na
Mhm.
tayo usap. But I'm
Yes.
happy that you're
Correct.
here right now sharing
Thank
this
you for
space.
inviting me. Thank you
But
for
thank you so
inviting me.
much.
Mhm.
Oo, thank you so much. And
Welcome.
even
Sure.
those who are watching this live right now,
Mhm.
um yeah. Oh, sorry, I didn't see the comments. Okay. Alright, ayun. But thank you for um watching with us and being here. And actually I'm really excited about this. So this is parang
Yes, excited.
oo, kasi 'di
So
ba
do
parang
I.
the work that I do, it's a lot about love and
Correct.
about wisdom. Tapos
Wisdom.
ito yung action part yung success part, yung
Yes.
very gaining authority of yourself or the
Mhm.
power inside of you. Kasi that's how grounding money is. So, money is a good thing. Yun lang yung masasabi ko. So, this is the I think that's about it kasi we're already
Yes.
hitting the 1 hour mark. But thank you so
Correct.
much, Lian, for joining me
Thank
here.
you.
Oo,
Yes. I enjoy it so much.
Pati si
Oo
Thunder
nga.
nakikigulo.
You wanted to
Na,
join us. If I can only
oo.
interpret the language of dog, we will know.
Ako, bastos na to. Gusto lang tumabi sa akin. But okay, sige. At least, tahimik na lang siya dito. If I only knew,
Okay.
di ba? But thank you
Mhm.
so much, Lian. And
Thank you.
for those who are watching with us, thank you so much. And I hope that you also learned something from this conversation. It's just simple. It's just an introduction. The meat are really in the next succeeding sessions, and I hope that you could also join us. Of course, Lian will also be part of those webinars. All right. So, God bless everyone. Take care, and thank you
God
again,
bless.
Lian.
Thank you.